I'd like to invite anybody that has memories that would like to come up and say a few words or share their thoughts. Don't be shy. Anybody? Nobody? Missy? No? Anybody? How about the 2 back there? 3 back there? 4, 5? Nobody's scared to death to come up here and talk, huh? Good. This was Miss Patricia, her first beautiful granddaughter that she raised. That is actually also a daughter. And we love you, and it's your floor.
I'll try. Grandma, like she said, she was my mother. She wasn't really my grandmother. She raised me since I was, tiny, when, my mother couldn't. And, I mean, she had a lot of help. I'm so glad for that, because Aurora was half mother, too. Grandma, I'm so glad that there's so many people here. I really am, because she really deserves a lot of people here to share this. She's just such a unique woman. It's so strong, so special, so different, and I'm so happy to be able to take a lot of that, a lot of those aspects of her, and I feel like I am a lot of, I'm smart. I feel like, her independence, like I got that from her, and I learned so much from her, even though she was, so much older than, a mother's supposed to have been for me. Supposed to have a much younger mother taking care of me. She helped me so much with Fiona. I don't know what I would have done without her help. And the first, few years with Fiona, she was very tough, but she really, I was there for all that, her good sides, and not just, her being firm and, and she said, I got to hear all the good things she said about family members. I mean, my cousins, Christina's not here, but man, the stuff she thought Christina was such what's her words? A tough cookie.
Yeah.
And she admired her so much. And I hope that she knows that she really, admired her and loved her. And I know she was tough on a lot of people. Like, they didn't feel like she fully loved, like, a lot of people, but she really had a big heart. And she was just very unique and had her own way of putting things. And I was with her a lot, like the most, and I got to see so many different parts of her, and she just really wasn't that, she wasn't as tough as you think. She really wasn't. She was very soft, and but I think that's all I have to say.
No, thank you. You did a great job. And she expressed everything very, very well. I don't think any of us could have said it any better. So, if anybody else wants to say anything else, I think Patricia carried out the eulogy and everything, actually, because she hit it right on the nose. The last year Mom was with me, I got to see sides of her that also showed a softness that she really wanted people to think she was nothing but eyes. I remember my other sisters and I didn't live as many years as Patricia did with her growing up, but there's some memories there that I remember in the Bronx, New York. I don't know if you remember this, but we would hang out on the bottom on the stoops, you know how you do in the city, and you think you're tough. And she would come down those stairs with those skinny little legs and everything, and all you saw was the eyeballs coming at you. And it was like, and you just saw the eyes. And our friends would say, oh my God, here comes that lady with the cow took off. Everybody is, you know, and ran. She was tough. She didn't like you to see her soft side sometimes, you know. She wanted you to think she was harder, and all I can say is that independence, down to the last 2 hours, that woman didn't want anybody changing her diaper or cleaning her, even though they told her you stay in bed with the oxygen mask. As soon as a nurse left, off came the oxygen mask, and she was going to do it her way. My last hour with her was unbelievable. Actually an hour and a half before her final breath. I realized, I guess my subconscious kicked in, because I realized that she was preparing to leave. Every few moments that I would go in, because I'd hear the bell that I had put by her bed ring a little bit, she'd be trying to get her up. And she's cleaning imaginary tables, and then she wanted to water plants, and I'm like, what's going on? Mom, you watered the plants already. They look beautiful. Go sit down again. You need to rest. And then another point, she's looking for her shoes. And I said, Mom, what are you looking for? She goes, my shoes. I got to go to church with you and Joey. And I'm like, church? Mom, tomorrow. It's not Sunday yet. Go back to bed. You know, and I'm taking her back to bed. The final experience was she wanted to get up and do something. And I don't know what came over me. But I grabbed her hands, and I didn't call her Mom, I called her Maria. And I said, Maria, it's time to go to work. She loved to work. She loved to work. She loved her plants when she worked at Baum, and she loved sewing in New York. She was a seamstress in all those factories. I think where most immigrants come here, where do you go if you're a woman and you go to New York? You go to sew in the factories, and that's what she did. And just like my sister-in-law's mother and aunts did the same thing. So I said, Mom, you gotta go to work. And she looked at me and she got happy. And she could barely get up from the bed. But I grabbed her hands and I said, let's go to work. And she got up and she went. It took us like 20 minutes. And what I did was I walked her around the bed and I said, we gotta take the train. We got the train, I went around on the other side of the bed, and we got on the train, and we sat down on the bed. And I moved the bed, and I said, oh, this train, let's get that. Mom, we're here. She gets up, we scoot over just a little bit, and the most interesting thing, you know, she was a size 0, and she took her pant legs, and it was amazing. She started to fold a seam and started to go like that. And I said, oh, Mom, you're doing such a great job. That's wonderful. I said, it's lunchtime. I think the morphine they gave her rubbed off on me. That's what I think happened, you know, because I don't know where this stuff came from. And she said she was hungry and she wanted lunch. So I went to the kitchen, I got her a little bit of, you know how she loved those little Mott's pineapple orange juices, and a little piece of that Puerto Rican bread with butter. So I took her the Puerto Rican bread with butter and the little juice. She drank maybe a quarter of it, and she took a bite of the butter, and I thought, boy, this is a long lunch break. And she finished her juice. I said, Mom, lunch is over. She immediately grabbed the seam again and started making seams to sew. And I said, Mom, it's time to go home. So we got up, walked back around the edge of the bed. About halfway at the foot of the bed, she stopped. And we were like this, and she put her hand around me in here. And you know, New Yorkers, after work, what do? Dance, and you go for a drink, right? So I said, Mom, you want to go get a drink? And she put her arm, and then we kind of did like this, and she came into me for that, just a brief moment, and I was able to tell her I loved her. Walked her back around the bed, sat her down, and it was interesting because right there at the end, she didn't want to look at me. She kept looking down at the floor. And I went to hold her hand again, but she kind of pulled away. I think she was ready to go, but didn't want me to see that. So I laid her down, I went back to bed. About 6:30 in the morning, Joe was up and I hear the bell, and he had just checked her and she was fine. When I got to the room, that was it. She had said, I finished work, I'm going to church, I guess. And she left, and that was it. And so I thank all of you right now that are here that took time to come, and I keep seeing new faces that snuck in the back. And thank you all so much. And anybody want to take over and say anything? Come on, sweetheart. Come on. Here's Fiona. Go ahead, sweetie.
When I was at her house, when my mom went to work, I always had coffee.
We love coffee, don't you? That Spanish Puerto Rican coffee, yes. Go ahead. She may be blonde, but she's got some of that Latin blood in her.
And I always had bread,
Mm-hmm.
chocolate, stuff that made me happy. We had ice cream. And we sat down. We
Had a lot of coffee and ice cream, and I'll tell you what, she ate ice cream that day. The 31st of January, she had 2 tablespoons of ice cream, vanilla ice cream, because she didn't like anything else, right? She loved vanilla ice cream. And that's what she had. She must have been thinking of you, right? Thank you. Thank you for sharing. You're doing wonderful. Thank you. I guess it's time to eat. And talk. I don't know what else to say, so thank you all for so much support and so much love. And like Patricia said, it's really warmed our hearts to know that she has had such an outpouring of love. I mean, I could go down and thank Maggie and Pat and Pauline, who dances and comes to yoga, and these ladies and Chaplain Matthew and Doreen and Gary and my cousin Artie over there, and so many of you, and Liz, oh my God, and Crystal, who I saw as a baby like Grandma saw Fiona, and my sisters back there, and all of you friends and co-workers, and my yoga students are here. I didn't bring my bell, namaste. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, let's eat. Let's celebrate. Mom loved to eat. She didn't gain a pound. She was as beautiful and thin as Angelina, is it? And she could eat. She put us to shame. And we always we try to keep up eating with her, but we would get fat.